back to Blackout, House of Bob's cyberpunk adventure set in the Vantal Megaplex, powered by the Sprawl RPG system.
Hi, I'm Cristina, and I'll be playing Olivia Crow, once a test subject for the R&D sector of MassCorp, now a low-level runner for the Gastown Sparks.
I'm Shubert. I'll be playing Bunk, the beat hacker.
I'm Dan. I'll be playing Tiz, the hard-nosed reporter, tracking down corruption no matter the cost.
Hey, I'm Alex. I'll be playing the fixer, black market dealer, and conspiracy theorist, Garrett.
Blackout is made possible in part by listeners like you. To support the show, visit patreon.com/thehouseofbob. Roll on. From their new office in the upper levels of MassCorp HQ, Mimi can finally see the mountains. At night, pitch-black pyramids rising from the Sea of Lights, one of the last areas of unspoiled land not blanketed by the Sprawl. It's only a facade, though, Mimi thinks, as they select a pulsating electric blue nail polish from the staggering variety contained in the floor-to-ceiling vanity that dominates one wall of the office. The inside of those mountains are hollow, carved out for the precious materials needed to rebuild Vantal, and then stuffed with the infrastructure required to support the vessel mass driver. It's all just for show, a friendly-looking mask to throw over the ugly face of progress. Pot meets kettle, they say aloud, as they change their mind and grab a slightly darker shade of blue instead. At that moment, a small brown bird with long, multicolored tail feathers hops down from a perch on the heavy oak desk in the center of the room and approaches Mimi. The lyrebird has a small metal plate attached to the back of its skull. It preens at its feathers, fans them slightly, and then opens its mouth, speaking in an unnatural imitation of human speech. Mixmoji. 2 new messages. First message from Clicks Marketing. Impressions up 27%. Click-through up 30%. Mimi waves their hand and the lyrebird skips to the next message. Second message from MassCorp Security. Congratulations on your recent promotion, Mimi. We hope you will succeed where your predecessor failed. We've sent you the data we have on the incident at the Exhale warehouse last week. The 2 main suspects are still at large. Tiss, the reporter who wrote the instigating article. He appears ignorant of the situation, but still warrants investigation. And then there's the hacker, Bunk. His music file, included in the article, contained hidden blueprints of the warehouse. He should be your primary target. Act quickly, as he's likely going to ground. We look forward to your progress. Meanwhile, in a far distant part of the city, in a gloomy rundown neighborhood, a young Bunk stands on the street, staring upwards at an impossibly tall apartment complex. His face is obscured by a visor and a modified rebreather. He double-checks the unit number and name hastily scrawled on an old piece of notepaper in his hand, takes a deep breath, and presses the buzzer beside the name Tiss. During the last session, Garrett, Bunk, and Olivia went on a quick side mission to respond to a curious message sent by Garrett's client, Joseph, which turned out to be a trap set by Epistle Mook Blunderbuss Bailey. You had to beat a hasty retreat. Joseph's status is unknown, but the prognosis ain't great. After that, we left you mid-mission infiltrating the Gastown Sparks hideout in the sketchy Body Bag nightclub, trying to extract Tripwire's daughter, Mirth. Bunk and Tiss are currently backstage with club owner Cobus, making the final preparations for the show. Garrett had slipped into an office, finding a thuggish individual matching the description of Fluke, the ganger identified by Trip. So Garrett, you see Fluke grab a big shotgun from a locker, throw a case of ammo into one of the baggy pockets of his cargo shorts, slam the locker shut, and then head through a door deeper into the building. You are hidden behind a desk. Up to you if you want to follow or meet back up with B&T, or what's your plan from here?
B&T.
B&T. Or ransack this office.
Well, I mean, there might be something of value in the office. Not only for the mission, but just, maybe something Garrett can resell, whatever.
Some offlines.
Garrett wants to tear apart the office, look for clues, information, supplies, whatever. So yeah, he starts
Sounds good.
Like opening drawers and shuffling through papers and not really making an effort to be secretive about it.
Fair enough. Sure, you get to work. You start with the locker that he had pulled his weapon from. And there's a few things in here, some personal effects. There's also a mini gun locker, essentially. So there's some other ammunition and weapons in here. If there's something you wanted to grab, you could probably pull out a weapon, or just take a gear card and then turn it into a weapon later.
I was going to say, yeah, give me a gear card, please.
You grab this gear. You also see on the inside of the locker on the wall. It's plastered with photos, printed photos of a variety of people. And they all seem to be people that were in the club. They're either drinking or partying or whatnot. And
Garrett recognizes one of them.
You absolutely do. You recognize.
Okay.
Yeah.
Without playing a card?
I got a lot of these cards I got to play through.
You recognize two of them then.
I recognize two of them.
Yeah. You recognize one who is the description of Mirth, Tripp's daughter. Her picture is on the inside of this locker. And then you recognize a second person. That can be up to you who you want to recognize.
I recognize someone in the same picture as Mirth, actually. Cool. Somebody that a regular client of mine brought over once. You know, like when sometimes you would bring your friends to go to the drug dealer and the drug dealer would be like, you're not supposed to bring any friends around here. It's like one of those situations.
I'll take your word for it. Okay. So what are you hoping to get out of it, I guess? What's the usefulness of this information for you?
Just another lead on Mirth, someone who might know where she is or be connected to her disappearance. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Sounds good.
Okay. Is that a contact or is that an intel that I would spend
intel's
for that?
Fine. Yeah, sure. Let's do that.
Yeah, I wouldn't really call him a contact.
I don't know him.
Yeah, you don't know
I met him once. He wasn't invited, but he showed up anyway.
But you know his friend.
Yeah, I know his friend.
Just throwing cards at me now.
Well, I got a lot of cards to spend.
I don't think you have to spend a card for knowing his friend. Come on.
No, I know his friend. His friend is he is a Sparks member, so it's possible Olivia might know him as well. It's tough to say. We haven't, talked about him before.
Sorry, this friend is
he's the customer of mine who brought this sketchy guy over to my place once.
Okay.
Just as a quick reminder, I've never told anybody that I'm in the Sparks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
we don't.
So
we don't know.
That's on the DL.
Now, you guys don't know that she's in the Sparks. However, when you were talking to Edward, I think it was, one of the consequences was somebody found out, and you chose that it's these guys that are going to find out. So you haven't found out yet, but that'll happen during the course of this mission. Yeah.
I'm just saying, as of this moment, you don't know that I know that person.
Great. Anything else you're hoping to find in here, or should we move on?
Ammo,
I think that's
cash.
good. Yeah, you're good for ammo.
He found a locker with 3 people that he recognizes.
A photo.
No, there were photos in the locker. 2 people you recognized. One is Mirth. The other is kind of a friend of a friend or a friend of a client. Just someone that you recognize.
The client is Jerry Grimes.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's somebody.
It's the same card. It's the same card.
Yeah, he told you not to spend it.
You may spend it later if you interact with Jerry Grimes, right?
Cool.
Or, if you wanted to call Jerry Grimes and get information out of him right now, that's something you could use.
I could find out who that guy was.
Sure.
Call him on their phone.
Okay. I'll
Can
call.
you do that?
Well-traveled card.
To pay in.
Normally, when you say, "Oh, you don't have to spend that," players are like, "Great, I'll keep that."
Well,
I just trying to blow his wad in the first 10 minutes.
It's probably the last session of this mission, and I have all of the cards that we started the mission with.
True.
So I'm trying to make use of them at least. Yeah. So you know what? I'm going to call this client of mine. His name is Jerry Grimes, and he once brought this sketchy dude who's in the same photo as Mirth over to Garrett's place to buy some spice. Garrett was not happy about Jerry bringing this extra guy over and told him that he's going to owe him one. And so now he owes him one, and this is the one that he owes him. So he calls Jerry Grimes, and asks, you remember that time you brought that guy over? Tell me who that guy was.
Sure. Yeah. He fills you in. It's just a friend of his, another what's the word? Druggie, I guess. Another addict who's addicted to
fellow partier.
A fellow partier with an enthusiasm for certain substances.
Right.
And, you can find him usually in various clubs, night after night, just clubbing the night away. And
does he have a favorite club?
He frequents the Body Bag. And if you're going to find him anywhere on a Friday night, it'll probably be here.
Okay. Is it Friday night?
Sure.
What's his name?
What's his name?
His name is Marks.
What's the scene like out in the club? Is it starting to get hopping yet, or?
Yeah, there's whatever your opening act is on set right now. Yeah, there's quite a few people in the in the club.
Cyber pub.
Thank you. Cyber club. There's a good level of enthusiasm right now. Kobus is here with you, and he's like, "Oh shit, you should have been on right now." Nah, just shitting ya.
Okay, I forgot who it was for a second.
I don't know how you forgot that.
Oh, Gobez.
Yeah. You guys are just shooting the shit. The tech is making some final adjustments for your requests for light effects and that kind of thing.
I do have some specific requests.
And you'd likely be on just about any moment now. Anything you need to do before then?
Yeah, there is actually.
Okay.
So I have this new song that's coming out. It's called Blackout. So during this song...
That's a dumb name.
Yeah. Well,
Meta.
Sorry. Please continue.
So anyway, during the song, I'm telling this to the light technician guy. I'm going to need you to turn out all the lights in the entire building, right? And all the sound is going to go off.
Sure.
It's going to be crazy, man.
Except for the emergency floor lighting, of course.
I mean, like, do we have to? Like, can't we just... Because that would kind of ruin the whole, like, blackout. Like, they're not supposed to see anything.
Yeah, man. Sounds cool.
Yeah.
I think this is an easy enough request. You talk for a little bit and you convince him. So at a specified time during the song, all the lights in what he has control over, which is not the whole building, but this floor anyway, will go out. Tis, anything you're doing at the moment?
I think I'm just going to be doing some investigating. I'm just trying to find who the potential sparks are in the crowd. I don't know if there's any like discerning qualities for them or if they have like certain jackets that they all wear. Like they're a gang, right? So maybe they have some affiliation or some sort.
You did identify a few of them in your investigations before the club opened, and you see them. I don't want to talk about that. It went very well. You do see them out in the crowd. But they didn't have, they don't have a obvious uniform or, bandana or badge or color. Most of them are either wearing the kind of fashion that's fashionable here at the moment. They're in other clubbing clothes. It looks like they're here to party. You're doing your rounds and you're looking through the club, looking for people, trying to see if you can identify maybe a pattern or whatever. And you're approached by someone. You're walking by and she kind of timidly grabs at your sleeve and pulls you towards her. And you see a young woman dressed a little more casually than most of the kind of wacky outfits that most people in the club are wearing, just jeans and a graphic tee. And she says, can I talk to you?
Sure.
Are you Tis?
Who's asking?
My name is Margot. I read the Daily Download.
Oh, okay. Cool. Nice to meet a fan. Anything I can do for you? Want me to sign some?
No. Here, follow me. And she kind of pulls you into like a booth.
Okay.
On the wall, kind of away from the main floor where everybody's dancing, somewhere a little more private. And she says, look, there's something going on here. She looks around a little nervously to make sure no one's listening in or watching. And she points towards the VR booths on the wall. And you remember these are like the kind of body lockers that you find in a morgue repurposed to be VR booths. Me and my friend, we went in there yesterday, and I mean, it was a trip. It was kind of cool, but my friend never came out. I couldn't find him after. They said he went home early. He got dizzy, but I don't know. I haven't been able to get a hold of him since. I'm worried.
Can you point out which locker he was put in?
Yeah, there's a bunk. That's you.
Hey! Should you be on stage?
There's a bank of lockers, maybe 3x4, and there are 2 in the bottom right corner that they went into. She was in one, her friend was in the other.
Okay, here's my card. I'm gonna go give it a whirl. I'll see if I can see anything in there that looks suspicious. I'll give you a call if anything turns up.
She gives you a way to get in touch with her, and she disappears back into the crowd.
Okay, I'm going to go over to the booths and put in some money and see if I can get in on one of them. At least I'm trying to get into the exact one, obviously, that he was in.
Okay.
I don't know if there's any correlation, but we'll find out.
Sure. Let's check in briefly with Olivia.
Hello.
Hi. So Olivia took a different approach. You used one of your contacts in the Sparks to get a job on a transport mission, which is supposedly going down in the body bag today.
You got it.
You were led by Edward into a small garage and loading dock under the building. You see 3 Sparks in this room. They're standing around in a huddle chatting. There's a black SUV and 2 motorcycles. On the far wall, a door opens and in walks Fluke and 2 people carrying zipped up body bags. They open the back of the van, gently secure the body bags to straps on the inside wall. Fluke shouts, "Shotgun!" pats the weapon end aside and laughs before jumping into the passenger side of the van. He pokes his head out of the window and points to Olivia. Hey, newbie, you're in the back. Got it?
Got it.
Don't touch my stuff.
What's your stuff specifically?
Just everything in the van.
Oh,
This is my van.
Don't touch the van.
right.
Hover.
Your job is someone shoots at us, you shoot at them. Got it?
I got it.
Good. The rest of the Sparks kind of file into their positions. One gets into the driver's seat of the SUV. The other two don helmets and mount up on the motorcycles.
I get in the van.
So you pop into the back of the SUV. You see these two body bags strapped to the sides, one on the left, one on the right. Otherwise, it's pretty featureless in here.
Am I the only one in the back?
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
You feel like this was probably the less desirable job.
For sure. Who wants to be in the back with a bunch of dead bodies? I immediately go through his stuff.
And you close the door behind you? How immediately?
Oh, yeah. I'm like, once I'm like alone, I start going through, poking at the body bags and whatnot.
Sure. You poke at the body bags.
Does it feel like bodies?
It feels like a vaguely body-shaped and body
Squishiness?
consistency object. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Vaguely.
Vaguely.
It could just be pudding.
It could be
Or
flour.
it could be ballistic jelly.
Do I see any way to open this body bag?
There's a zipper, but it is locked, just with a physical lock.
Oh, those are always easy to open on bags, like because you can just kind of easily scoot the two zippers apart. I've done that actually before.
Whoa, on a body bag?
Not on a body bag, like on a duffel bag. You know how you can like lock them?
Was there a body in the duffel bag?
There was just stuff in the duffel bag, but it was locked and you can open them up that way is all I'm saying.
It seems to be competently locked. However, it is just a physical lock. You may be able to get by it one way or another.
Yeah, I've opened a lock or two. Let's pop this one open if it's just like a standard lock.
Sure. I don't know if there's really a role for that. Let's see what we got.
Can I have a lock pick?
Oh, sure. Yeah. If you have a gear and just want to get a lockpick, then done.
Yeah.
Do you remember where you got this gear from? I don't remember.
I don't remember.
It was probably from your scavenge ability, which makes sense that your crows easily could have found a discarded lockpick in a trash can somewhere.
I don't remember.
Sure. That's fine. No worries. And you pull it out of your pocket, get to work on this lock.
You say, I don't know where I got this.
Hey, that's awesome. And I start doing it.
That's convenient. And you pop the lock,
Pop it and lock it.
Mhm.
pop and lock it,
No, unlock it.
pop and unlock it. Left or right body bag first.
Always right.
Okay. You open it up and you see a young man.
Oh, I see it back.
And that's all you see.
Yeah. Left side.
Oh,
Okay. You just want to peek? I don't know.
Yeah. First, I want to know what's going on. So,
you go to the left bag, unlock the lock, pull it open, and you see a young woman matching the description of one Mirth Styles.
I zip it back up.
Both of them appeared unconscious and appeared to have a headset, some kind of VR visor on.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Not just unconscious, but like
Zonked
Yeah.
completely out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, like you poke at one and shake him a little bit and no response.
right.
Well, you literally found the person we're looking for. So
You hear the
Cool.
motor on the SUV start up. You hear the garage door shutter open, and you hear this convoy begin to leave. You may want to inform your colleagues about what's going on.
Yeah, I think. Well, that's going to be difficult to do.
you're alone in a van.
No, difficult, like emotionally.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know how to do this.
No, I
I don't know
mean,
how to work a phone.
you can send a text message or something if you're worried about noise. But
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Sure. Yeah, these guys, I know they're not that high tech when it comes down to it. I just send like Garrett probably.
no, wrong choice.
Well, I know it's a
conspiracy.
No. The thing with that though is I know if I send it to Garrett, then
Yeah.
Bunk also gets it. So
It's true.
so that's a twofer.
Smart. Can't you just do like a mass text?
I assume you guys have a chat group.
Yeah, group chat. Yeah.
That doesn't seem very secure, but if you
A
say
WhatsApp.
so,
Yeah.
It's an encrypted group chat.
sure. I put it in the group chat. Frowny face. Found the body.
Let's pop back to Tis.
Okay.
A few moments ago, you walked over to the VR booths. There's a clerk there that's helping people into the booths and putting on the headsets. You wait in line, you kind of sneak into the right spot in line such that you'll get the booth that you want. And the clerk asks, do you want easy, medium, or hard?
Let's go hard. Let's go hard, baby.
That's the way. And he opens the door. There's the tray that slides out.
I get vertigo. Will that be a problem?
Sorry, can't hear you. And he closes the door.
All right. So before I put on the headset and all that, I'm going to take a look in the booth around me. And I'm going to use one of my nose for a story cards.
Sure.
Swing. I'm going to use the find a piece of evidence function of that.
What do you want to find?
I was thinking that I noticed kind of like a hinge on the back part of the wall where my head would be. I noticed like that square panel behind me has a hinge on it, meaning that there's something that's beyond this point.
Sure. It's just a simple metal locker on the inside. There's a small little control panel on the ceiling, which basically just, start and stop, and the headset. And then on the back wall, where your head is, the opposite wall of where you entered, it's hidden, but there is the thin outline of a hatch. You also see a number of scratch marks on this wall.
All right. That seems normal. Put on my headset. No, just for myself, I'm going to try like leveraging myself to push against that hatch, see if I can budget it all or if it's pretty locked up tight.
Sure. Do you think you're a strong fellow?
No.
Then you can't get it open.
Okay. All right. So that's kind of the extent of my, looking around in here. So I'm going to put on the headset and see if there's anything involved with that.
What is one of Tiss's greatest fears?
He's claustrophobic, which is kind of ironic.
You put on the VR booth and you're in a VR booth. Or put on the VR headset.
No, he's afraid of like spelunking and like going deep underwater and
that's
stuff
a good
like
one,
that.
yeah.
Underwater caves, all that.
You put on the headset, you hit start, and you receive a terrifying vision of underwater escapades and little tunnels with all these, stalactites and little fish with weird big teeth and strange lights on them. And you don't know how you're going to get back up to the surface, and
the oxygen's running out.
Oxygen's running out. Yeah, you hear the sound from Sonic when you start to run out of oxygen in the underwater levels.
And then you get squished between two blocks.
Why don't you make an act under pressure roll?
You got it.
Which is cool.
10.
Cool.
Very cool.
Yeah. You weather the storm.
It's not real.
Yeah. You feel for the moment that something's trying to kind of really get in there. And beyond just showing you this image, it's trying to manipulate you in some way. And you get sleepy, you get tired, but you fight it. And eventually the simulation ends. You're a little worse for wear. You didn't enjoy that experience, but the door opens up again and the tray slides out. And he's like, oh man, you did good. Most people don't last that long.
Oh, thanks. Can I go again?
Sure. But you do have to get to the back of the line again.
Hey. I slip him a couple extras.
All right, he lets you in. Sure.
Okay.
Do you want maddening difficulty this time?
Sure.
All right.
I didn't know that was an option, but let's do it.
Only for our seasoned veterans.
Oh, nice. Bring it on.
You pop back in. What do you do?
I'm doing this with the intent of failing my roll and losing my cool.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you just want to give in, absolutely you can.
Yep. I got to go deep.
You see these same images again. This time you feel something brush up against your leg and disappear, and eventually you just go unconscious. And we'll get back to you in a bit.
Just like I planned.
And in that moment, he feels in his pocket.
Yeah. Bunk and Garrett, you both get a text message from Olivia. Body here.
Frowny
face. I think that was it.
It was frowny face first, but yes, otherwise you got it.
And probably a way to get to you, a coordinate or...
Yeah.
Can I text back?
Yeah.
I would text back, dead or alive?
Question mark is what you get back.
Can you text? Question mark.
You just see the little 3 dots bouncing.
Oh boy.
Colon uppercase S.
I just tried to explain really quick that I'm not in the best situation for checking.
All right. Understood. And you send us your coordinates?
Yep.
Yep.
They're on the
Man.
move, as you can see.
Garrett, what do you want to do, man?
Garrett texts back that he thought he had a lead, but I guess it's too late now, and says that we should probably head to Olivia's coordinates.
All right. I mean, I got a set to play,
Yeah.
but
Are you texting like in the middle of your set right now?
No.
Just before you go on.
yeah, this is
He's a
just before
DJ.
we
He
go
just
on.
hits play.
Oh.
You're not here. You're in a VR nightmare right now. Shut up.
Better than your set.
Oh!
Yeah, the next difficulty is just you have to listen to Bunk's music.
Everyone's scrambling into the bunks.
Flipping the table,
Oh boy.
unplugging the mics.
Oh boy. Garrett takes back. Start your set. I'll sneak out shortly after it begins, and I'll give you more info when I have it.
Olivia texts. Oh, good. The strongest one.
We don't have a
Most
strongest
experienced. Most experienced.
It's a good thing sarcasm doesn't pick up over text. He thinks you're like,
Oh, good. The
Yeah.
strongest one's coming.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I gotcha.
Yeah, I just respond with
Garrett's
a
just
thumbs
beaming.
up.
I'm the strong one.
Sure. So, Garrett, you start heading out of the club, probably to the van.
Yep.
Bunk, you're planning on continuing with the set?
Yes, but
But,
I have a plan.
okay.
He presses play on his iPad.
No, I have an escape route. I have a bike. I have an
yes,
electric
yep.
bike, and I have that positioned just outside the emergency exit.
Okay, cool.
You talking about like a Lime bike?
No, it's like whatever Jake described last time, like the Kawasaki Ninja
like a Vespa kind of thing.
X900.
Yeah.
No. It's like
A motorcycle.
a crotch rocket.
A crotch
yeah,
rocket.
The,
Okay.
the Yamaha Night Dragon 7600.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Jake. It's just electric.
Right.
Yeah, it's a cool motorcycle. It's
Yeah.
not a scooter or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. I have that positioned just outside, ready to go.
Okay. And your plan is just to probably, I imagine, slip out during the blackout?
Barring anything happening here, yeah, that's going to be my plan to help these guys out.
Okay, cool. So let's pop back to Garrett and sort of Olivia.
Okay.
Garrett, you get into the van, you punch it. Bad luck, Betty, affectionately known.
Yeah.
Bam-a-lam.
He really drives my van more
Yeah.
often.
Do you have to hotwire it this time? Or
No,
You never
one's-
had to.
There's no one there to watch.
Yeah,
so
right,
It doesn't matter.
He had the keys the whole time before.
And you know that they've got a bit of a head start on you, but they're not expecting that they're being followed yet. So if you probably have to drive a little above the limit, a little recklessly, but you could catch up to them fairly easily.
So yeah, I try to, keep an eye on them, but I'm, trying to maintain like a following distance of maybe like a block
Sure.
or so.
Yeah. Olivia describes to you what vehicles to look out for, and they're nondescript, but the fact that there's these three, nondescript vehicles traveling together, you assume that's them, and you're able to keep an eye on it, and you follow at a safe distance. Olivia, anything you're doing in the meantime while this goes down?
I'm going to try to see what the VR is on Mirth's head. Like, can it be removed? If I do remove it, what happens then, kind of thing?
Maybe let's do a mind roll just to investigate this tech and figure out what you know about it.
10.
Yeah, you dig around with it a little bit. This isn't your kind of specialty, but you have a bit of technical knowledge and you're able to at least figure out the basics. It does seem to just be inducing some kind of comatose state. You can't tell what image is being projected in order to do that, but they appear to just be comatose, for lack of a better word. When it comes to what would happen if you removed it, it's hard to say.
But it looks removable.
It looks removable, but it is actually plugged in. So you would have to remove a jack from the side of Mirth's head.
Oh.
So it's pretty in there, which means that it's possible that there could be pretty severe consequences for removing it.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was actually like jacked into her head. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to maybe send some pics to the group chat to show Bunk specifically of the VR unit,
Okay.
because maybe he can tell me how to, if not disable it, maybe put something better in there to wake her up or whatever.
Okay, sure.
In the meantime, though, I'm going to like zip it up again, but not lock it.
Right. Sounds good.
At the next red light, Garrett wants to like pull up beside them and then get in front of them when it turns green. Change lanes in front of the SUV.
Like merge in front of them, you mean?
Yeah, merge in front of them. Turn on his left blinker. And then just slow down.
Okay.
Cool.
And he's just going to leave the blinker on.
Right.
So just like how you drive all the time.
But, well, you know,
Deliberately, yeah.
deliberately. Yeah.
All right, cool. Sounds good. You do that. You pull up beside the van at the red light. Light turns green. You manage to just sneak in ahead of them and just slow to a painful crawl.
Blinker on the whole time.
Yeah.
I like how you assume that they know you're an old person.
Well, they'll see when
I
we're
guess
at the
that's
red light.
true.
And
Or they'll figure it out because,
Right.
you know, I'm going 10 in a 50 and my blinker is on.
Right.
and he just leans on the horn. There's a good solid 30 seconds of horn.
Garrett waves.
Go around. Go around.
They're about to do that unless there's an opportunity one of you something you want to do at this point. Or are you just trying to slow them down?
Yeah.
Okay.
Something like that.
Sure. All right. Well, if you're just trying to slow them down, that's probably not bad because it'll give a chance for Bunk to catch up.
Yep.
Let's say you continue to do that for a little bit. They try to pass you,
And then
you,
I change
and you
lanes.
pass in
Yeah.
front of them and everything just to slow them down long enough. Bunk, what does the opening of your show look like?
Okay, so lights go out. And then suddenly, like flash of all these crazy colors everywhere as I get up on the stage and there's just like steam, you know.
Billowing.
I've heard of it,
billowing.
Like smoke machines?
Yeah, smoke machines. Thank you.
Steam machines.
Doing what they
Steam
do.
machines billowing out. I think we're probably just going to cut straight to the new material.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Risky.
Yeah, I'd say, YOLO Migos, it's your cyber funky audio junkie Bunk here. What's up?
Woo! It's Bunk!
Some of the bunker buddies in the crowd shout out. And
Bunk,
Yeah,
Bunk, Bunk, Bunk.
Yeah, trying to get everybody pumped up. Check out my fresh new beat. This one's called Blackout. I'm going to use one of my fresh new beat cards that I've been saving. And it says, when you have time and space for an emotional connection with someone, and you've passionately advocated for your vision, spend one hole to have the targeted NPCs give you something you want, do something you ask, fight to protect you or your cause, or disobey an order given by someone with authority.
So what's the plan?
They're going to give him an hour-long intermission. After the first song.
I'm going to get them to do something I want here. When the break comes,
Mhm.
and you'll know it, you guys got to start chanting. Okay?
Okay.
Right before my set, saw one of my social media influencer friends.
Sure. Yeah.
Her name is Nova. She's big on quick picks,
Sweeping the nation.
sweeping the nation with her amazing picks
That are quick.
that are super quick. And she's here at the show, luckily enough for me. And I know her. We run in some of the same circles.
Quickly.
What I would like from her during that blackout, I'm going to basically give her my mask, my like all the stuff that I'm wearing.
The old switcheroo.
Yeah. And get her to wear what I'm wearing.
Very cool.
And then when the song comes back on, for her to like continue my set.
So hit play again.
You're gonna pull a Doom.
Ah.
And then everyone's going to be like, this is the worst set he's ever played.
Oh, she just has to hit play.
Yeah. It is literally going to be automated.
Yeah.
And my feeling here is like, even if people are like, oh man, you fooled us, it'll be like a fun thing.
Yeah.
Like, because Nova is this like super fun, like flamboyant kind of personality. Nova knows how to pump up a crowd. That's why I picked her.
Awesome. So during the climax of the song, your bunker buddies in the audience start their chants. Blackout.
Blackout, 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 blackout.
And the lights in the building go dark.
Go dim. And it's really just
go
sad.
slightly.
Extra dim.
Go extra dim. So
No, it
dim,
goes
in fact.
pitch
Yeah,
black.
it goes pitch black.
Pitch dim.
Pitch dim. The lights go pitch black. And in this moment, you sneak off the side of the stage. Nova, your influencer buddy, takes your gear, does a little quick change, and pops onto the set, and you are free. Absolutely, I was going to make it difficult for you to get out of here, but you very deftly managed that. So get an experience point for, I think your directive was it illustrious or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was quite illustrious.
While running off stage, you do think, I haven't heard from Tiss in a while. You do wonder if something's going on there. You know where Garrett and Olivia have gone off to.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to send a quick text to the group chat, tell them where I'm at. Leaving the club, on my way. Where's Tiss?
And we're back on the trace, your premier network for the latest highlights, commentary, tips, and tricks for Skip Tracer, the massive multiplayer AR game you can't afford to miss.
That's right, Jill. Coming up on the hour, we have our top 10 highlights from yesterday's Puget Sound qualifiers, plus an exclusive sneak peek of Epistle's latest smart gun lineup, including the highly anticipated SA-24 Constructive Feedback Auto Shotgun. This is a beautiful piece of tech, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. But first, back to Jill with more on this season's events.
Thanks, Phil. As the qualifiers wrap up, the Grandmaster League is just around the corner. Only the best Skip Tracers from across Vantil have been invited to participate. And word is that the finals will include a never-before-seen special event. What this event entails is yet to be seen, but you can be sure fans everywhere will be glued to their pads. Next, over to Bill in the command center for more on today's top bounties. Good hunting, Tracers!
Tiss is currently waking up inside of a morgue.
Dope.
You're on one of those wheeled carts and you're being pushed into this room. On the walls are various operating equipment, and you see different electrical components and wires and cables and bits of cyberware covering the walls and desks and things like that. There is a man in a white coat, white mask, pushing you along. And that's where you're at.
And the mask is off me?
Yes.
Okay. Is he aware that I'm awake?
Not yet.
Okay.
Is he strapped down at all?
Yeah. I feel for any restraints on my arms or anything.
No.
Okay. Am I underneath a blanket of some sort?
Yes.
Okay. I reach for my pistol that's on my hip. I have a flechette pistol.
Sure.
Ooh.
Good for close range, which is perfect for my situation.
Good for close range and good against soft meat bodies like this one.
Is he pushing me by my head or my feet?
By your feet.
Okay. This may look weird, but my arm just raises up underneath the blanket and points the flechette pistol at him. And I open my eyes and be like, you're going to want to stop the cart now.
He does. Doesn't take much convincing. He jumps back in fright and immediately throws his hands up. Whoa, 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 whoa. No one needs to get shot.
Okay, what are we doing here?
You're going into surgery.
Excuse me?
Oh, God. They don't usually wake up this early. I'm supposed to implant this headset on you.
And what does that do? What does the headset do?
It just puts you to sleep.
Why would you want that?
I don't know. I get paid for it.
How many times have you done this?
Dozens. I don't know, man. It's my job. I do it day in, day out.
And what do you do with these people after?
The Sparks take them. They deliver them somewhere. I don't know. I just do what I'm told.
What you're going to do instead is you're going to take me to the drop-off point. We're going to skip the surgery part, and you're going to take my body to where they would load it onto the Sparks vehicle. Do you understand?
He nods apprehensively.
Do you understand?
Yes! Very well.
All right, so I'm going to basically keep it pointed on him, but nonchalantly kind of thing.
Sure.
It just looks like I have a boner.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So you
huge boner.
A massive, enormous boner.
You want him to prepare you such as
a rock hard boner.
You want him to prepare you such that you would look as when he's normally delivering someone, right? So
Yep.
So he puts this headset on you, but it's like normally there's a jack that it plugs into, so it isn't plugged in.
Just tucks it behind my neck or
exactly.
something.
Yep.
Okay.
He says, "I'm gonna put you in this body bag now. Is that okay?"
Yep.
All right.
I'm into it.
He zips it up, but leaves it unlocked.
Cool.
He rolls you down the hallway and then actually into an elevator. The elevator goes down a few floors and then opens into a loading dock garage.
I can't see any of this.
Oh, yeah.
He's looking through the little hole.
Yeah, you've got just a little bit of vision.
All right,
through
I cut a little, yeah.
Yeah, through the gap in the zipper.
Gotcha.
But also the audience, I guess, sees all this. This is the same garage that Olivia and Garrett departed from earlier. And there is a van waiting.
Cool. While I'm in the bag, I do check my phone.
Yes.
I can kind of do that.
Yeah, that's easy enough. You're caught up on the situation. You know that Olivia is in the van, Garrett is following, Bunk is on his way there. You know that they do have quite a bit of a head start on you, though. So if you wait here for, the next drop or the next delivery, you might not catch up.
Yeah, so I'm thinking I actually just relay where I am. I'm like, "Hey guys, I'm in a body bag in the basement."
Cool story,
like,
bro.
yeah. Sounds like
Okay.
I'm in a similar situation to our buddy there.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're on a mission, so we'll talk to you later.
Yeah.
Do you need help?
I think I'm okay. I try to look around and see if there's active people around me.
There are 2 people in here right now. 2 in addition to the doctor.
Okay.
Why don't you just get the doctor to drive you out of here? He's been pretty compliant so far.
I think that guy just dropped me off. That was just a porter.
Because this is like the
This
pickup
is like a
zone
different
anyways.
guy, right? The
Right.
doctor's a different guy?
The
The guy you were
doctor
threatening.
is the mother.
I can't implant this boy. He's my son.
The doctor is the one that you intimidated and has pushed you
okay.
into here.
Gotcha.
And then there are 2 more people. One is hanging out of the driver's seat of the van looking impatient. The other one is checking his ammunition and his weapon. You assume this is just the guard detail for this delivery.
This is tricky.
Go on a separate TIS mission.
I'm headed to the same area you guys are. It's just
Yeah.
at a different pace.
Makes sense.
So, like, my options are try to hijack a van myself.
Yeah.
Or just wait it out.
All right. Well, listeners, send in your
Suggestions.
Choose your own adventure?
Yeah.
text.
This is like that Bandersnatch thing. You just gotta choose a direction.
I think the listeners would want you to just, take these guys out, hijack the van. How hard could it be?
It's not really a TIS thing. He's not much of a fighter.
Or you could get loaded into the van, and I'm sure that Tiss has like a little field recorder or something. Record their conversations until you get to the destination, and then just shoot the guy in the back of the van through the body bag like a sweet action movie scene.
I do feel like I would probably wait it out. I like the idea of recording it. I can get information that you guys couldn't. Sure, I'm just gonna wait.
I do have your glasses, by the way. You gave that to me last time, just as a reminder.
Yeah, I can just record on my phone. Then.
Yeah, you've got
Okay.
another.
I can't record visual, basically, because that's what my glasses do, I believe.
I think you could do that from inside the body bag anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
At the very minimum, you would have your phone to record. I think you had another voice recorder. And then, the glasses for recording video.
Yeah.
Or you can just jot it down on paper.
Ugh, gross.
They just see like a little hand moving in the bag.
Yeah, that's really convincing.
Okay. Garrett and Olivia, Garrett primarily, with his driving antics, has slowed down the convoy enough that Bunk, you're within visual range. You can see this little convoy and you can see Bad Luck Betty in its way.
I have a question.
Sure.
Is there windows in the back or no?
No.
Okay. So there's not really a good way to send a message.
Obviously, this convoy is going somewhere. You have a feeling that when it gets to wherever it's going, it's going to be harder to do whatever it is you want to do, right?
Yeah. I think I want to try to see if there's anything else lying around back here. He definitely said, don't mess with my stuff. So I'm assuming there's more than just the 2 body bags.
Sure. Why don't you do an assess roll?
10.
Awesome. So
Nice.
you get to ask 3 questions from the assess list.
And you can gain 3 holds, so you don't have to use
That's
all
true.
of
That's
these.
correct. You can
Yeah.
save them for
Right
later. Yeah.
away.
And I even have a card for that if you decide to save them. The hold you get from assess, it has to be used in this scene. So
Right.
like once you move to a different place where it's no longer relevant, then you lose it, right? But
I don't have to use it the second.
exactly. Yeah.
I do want to ask one question at the very minimum, which is where can I gain the most advantage being in the back of this van or
Yeah.
SUV?
There is basically a little maintenance hatch on the bottom of the SUV floor in the back here, where you could like gain access to the electrical components of the SUV, like where you would go in to fix the generator and that kind of thing.
And what do I notice despite any effort to conceal it? I'm hoping for like a weapon or something.
Okay. Yeah. That seems like something they'd have. There's a little hidden hatch above the wheel cap, and there's a few weapons in there. What do you want? Or do you just want a gear card and decide later?
Yeah, I'll take a gear card. Thank you.
And you didn't use one of your holds. So.
I will hold that hold.
Hold that hold. Well, I mean, this convoy is just going, so it's up to you guys if you want to do anything in the meantime or wait until to see what happens.
Bunk grabs a used rebreather off just sitting on the ground. And
As you bike by,
yeah.
grab it all. Okay.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Mad stunts.
Yeah. And puts it on. It's kind of gross, but he's used to it.
Yeah, for the first time, we got to see what like Bunk's actual face looks like.
For a second, anyway.
It's dark.
Well, we can see why he wears a mask.
Oh.
Rude.
Hey.
That's why this is a radio show and not a vlog.
So right now I'm just driving behind old Betty.
Yep.
Choking on the fumes through my gross mask.
Old Betty.
Bam-a-lam.
Garrett, what do you want to do? We're close enough that we can just talk to each other.
What?
Jesus.
You guys have phones.
Yeah, that's kind of what I meant, I guess.
Garrett says he's gonna like do his best to like keep them slowed down so we can get everybody back together.
Perfect.
But these guys are starting to get impatient, so I might need some help.
Yeah. I mentioned everybody is packing. Just FYI.
Okay, well, if they're busy packing, then we can probably get them.
Yeah, perfect.
Thanks, Dad.
Save it. We have a channel just for dad jokes.
Yeah. I delete it and move it back into the other channel.
You're so used to doing it. It's just like
Automatic.
muscle memory.
Yeah.
We have a macro for it.
On my phone. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to try to stay far enough behind. My bike's pretty fast, so I'm not too worried about catching up. So I stay far enough behind that they can't really see me, so they don't get too worried.
So the plan is Garrett's going to continue to try to slow him down?
Yeah, that's
right.
the plan right now.
Sure. So let's do, I think, probably act under pressure.
Ooh.
Cool.
Okay. 6.
Ooh.
So one of the bikes pulls up beside the driver's seat of the van.
Okay.
He's wearing one of those big biker helmets. You can't really see his
Right.
face, but it is pointing in the direction of the window. And you see him just very casually put his hand on the machine pistol at his side.
I slam on the brakes.
All right. You slam on the brakes, and this large SUV slams into the back of Bad Luck Betty.
Oh no. Bad luck.
All of Olivia's stuff goes flying.
Oh no.
Like out of the van?
You literally have to buy me a new car, just FYI.
Your bobblehead
We'll talk about it.
collection.
Oh no.
Garrett, you're taking one harm as your face
Oof.
smashes into
All
the
right.
front of the steering wheel.
Okay.
Olivia, why don't you just act under pressure to see how you
Right.
deal with this sudden deceleration?
I got a 4.
So one harm as well.
Yep.
You're holding on to the handrail in the back of the SUV, but just you were not expecting this to happen.
Yeah.
And you lose your balance and slam into the back
What
wall.
happens to the backs?
They were securely fastened.
Oh, that's good.
This might be perfect, actually, because if we wreck their van, they might have to send another van to pick up some more bodies, and that might be
Yeah.
one I'm in.
I'm so happy for you guys.
Yeah, this is all working out to my plan. I told him to crash. You didn't see it because it was in the dad jokes section.
Right.
It got buried.
Yeah.
The two bikes stop as quickly as they can and turn back around. You hear and see someone emerging from the front door of the van from the passenger side. Fluke steps out and he looks pissed.
Right.
What are you guys going to do?
Garrett leans out and says, I'm going to call AAA.
All right. He walks up to you and punches you in the face.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this guy's aggro AF.
Whoa, like right through the window. Wow. So Garrett jerks back into the seat, but he's buckled in, so he doesn't go too far.
Safety first.
That's right. Safety first. It's a very high adrenaline situation. There's not a lot of time for him to think about what is going to happen, but he knows he just got punched and he knows that this is dangerous. So he grabs his pistol and he shoots right out the window at the direction of the guy who just punched him.
Are you trying to hit him?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Roll meat.
8.
All right. So you achieve your objective, but choose 2.
Okay.
You make too much noise. We advance the mission clock. You take harm as established by the fiction. An ally takes harm as established by the fiction, or something of value breaks.
2 things.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the van's already broken.
Yep.
So
Can't choose that.
Oh, I can't choose that.
Well, it's only kind of broken right now if you want it to be broken beyond repair.
Right.
But Cristina doesn't want
It doesn't matter what I want.
Can I
yeah.
say that the left mirror of the van comes off while I shoot?
It has to be a significant consequence.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
So,
bullshit.
Okay. So I make too much noise, or I get hurt, or someone else gets hurt, or something breaks
Yep.
beyond repair.
Well, it could be that one of us
I mean-
got hurt from your thing.
I mean, it's going to have to be noise.
Yep, sure.
It's going to have to be. There's no way that I pulled this off without making a scene. There's no way.
Yeah. So the action clock is going to go up by 1. It's at 21 now.
So we got 3 more slots on the action clock.
At 24, the mission is a failure. We decide at that point how the mission fails, but it will fail.
Okay.
All right, so I make noise, and yeah, I would say that Garrett probably gets hurt. He's already been punched, and the blowback from the pistol dislocates his shoulder.
Whoa.
He's a frail old man. That pistol is for show. He's not supposed to shoot that.
Anyways, you got to
Sure.
take harm then.
Yeah, I like that. I think instead of taking harm, you've established a consequence. So
Right.
your shoulder is out. You won't easily be able to use that arm for various shenanigans.
Okay,
How much harm does your pistol do, though?
it's a holdout pistol. So
2.
2 harm. Yep.
Are any of your characters interested in guns? Would you be able to identify a gun by seeing it, or what it does, or kind of how it acts? Or
Bunk is interested in older tech as far as guns go. He's interested in the whole 3D printable.
Right.
But he's more interested in the non-lethal variety.
Garrett would recognize regular old firearms, whatever the most common ones of the day are, because he's probably traded them for drugs or whatever.
Sure.
But nothing obscure. He's not an enthusiast or anything. He just
Yeah.
he knows a holdout when he sees a holdout. He knows a fleshette when he sees a fleshette.
And I'd say
Yeah.
Olivia's not super into them, but it feels like they're some part of our world. So anything that's the regular gun, unfortunately, or anything maybe that the Sparks use on a common level, I would know.
okay. So then none of you recognize what this is when
Okay.
Oh, but we recognize that it's something
New.
different.
you recognize what looks like a shotgun of sorts, but it doesn't look like anyone you've seen before. It looks cutting edge. It looks like the plastic is still on it. It looks brand
I
spanking
haven't
new.
even peeled the plastic off.
Yeah, and Fluke, you shoot at him. It hits him in the leg, and he ducks kind of just underneath the van, underneath the window.
Okay.
You see him pull out the weapon from his side. He's going to make a run towards a nearby parked car, so he has some cover, but then he pulls this weapon back around and is getting ready to fire.
I've been hanging back a little ways, but as soon as I see this guy walk over and punch Garrett in the face, I speed up my bike real fast and get over there. As I'm speeding over, I'm going to pull out my EMP pistol. I am shooting at the guy that I just saw punch my buddy Garrett in the face, and my objective here is to try to get them to disperse, basically, trying to scare them away more than anything.
Sure.
But I know that if they start firing back, this is going to turn into an all-out firefight. So
Sound good? Let's do a meat roll then. Mix it up.
So I rolled a 7, but I have a -1 meat, so that's a 6.
Yep. So that's a failure. You hit the throttle on your bike. You start zooming in there, pull out your EMP pistol, start taking a few shots. These little bolts of blue energy fly in the direction of the car, but he's ducked behind the vehicle enough that you don't get the shot off. And while you were doing that, one of the bikes from this convoy blasts down the street, and you see one of them, he has a chain on his side. There's a little handle at the top of the chain, and he presses a toggle and it electrifies.
Whoa.
And and he gets right up. You guys are coming in opposite directions, so he basically just whips this chain and smashes you in the side with it as you pass. It's just stun harm, so it doesn't actually do any damage, but you have to roll the harm roll. Or the harm move.
This is literally the coolest thing that's ever happened to me. And I'm so fucking scared. 9. What do I add to my harm roll?
The amount of damage you took, which in this case is 0. Harm is the one roll that you want to roll low on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
What did you get?
A 9.
9. Okay, well, it's not a 10
I'm
at
so
least.
excited.
Yeah, 10 is actually really bad.
Okay.
So on a 7 to 9, the MC, which is me, will choose one. Either you lose your footing, you lose your grip on whatever you're holding, you lose track of someone or something you're attending to, or someone gets the drop on you. This impact to your side, and it's electrified, so your arm goes numb, and you lose the grip on your bike, and you clatter off onto the street, roll a few times, and the bike goes off and smashes into the parked car.
Brutal.
Cool.
Olivia, you hear a lot of bullshit going on outside.
Yeah. I try to see if I can open the back door. And if I can, what is going on out there from my immediate field of view?
You open up the door easily enough. I think maybe you open it with just the right timing to see what happened with Bunk and the other bike rider. So you see the other bunk rider.
That's who I am.
Bunk rider.
You see the other bike rider continuing past the van and then doing a wide circle to come back towards the scene. You don't see what was happening with Garrett and Fluke because that was in front of the van and you're coming out the back.
Mm-hmm. First, I'm actually using my question. What's my best way in? What's my best way out? Way past. Specifically, way past. I would like to sneakily, as I can, get to the front of the SUV. I want to get in the driver's seat specifically.
Okay, in the driver's seat, sure.
So what then I'm going to say that I found with my gear card is a spare set of keys.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that works. You found that in the back of the SUV?
Nice.
Cool. You duck out of the
shut the door.
The SUV. Sure. Shut the door. Come around the side and you peek in the passenger door window and you see the driver has smashed his head against the wheel in front of him and looks unconscious. There's a little bit of blood coming out of the forehead.
Right.
Is that just from hitting
from smashing into the van
Betty?
earlier? Yeah.
Damn.
I think he didn't have his seatbelt on.
And yeah, that's what you see.
Okay. I pull the guy from the passenger seat out of the van and then I get inside.
Sure. So he was in the driver's seat.
Yeah,
You pull him
I'm
into
pulling
the
him
passenger
across.
seat and you get into the driver's seat.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
Well, first I want to now see what's going on in front of the van.
Sure. So now you see your van right in front of you. With the,
I'm so mad.
yeah, with the back just trashed. Through the reflection in the mirror, you see Garrett inside the driver's seat, ducking for cover, and you see Fluke behind a parked car, readying this large shotgun.
Okay. I want to also assess, I guess that might probably be a role, how drivable this van is.
It's drivable.
Oh, okay. I am going to start that shit up and going to blare the horn really loud.
So you're going to have to kind of back up and then go back around.
Yeah.
Cool. Seeing this, Fluke is going to divert his attention from Garrett.
I'm hoping that he'll also think that I'm honking at him like, hey, come on over, maybe. Like, I'm just like trying to get everyone's attention.
Sure. So yeah, he's diverted his attention from Garrett. He looks over at the van. Is it going to be a bluff or something? Or what do you...
I guess so.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't know me well, but he knows I'm in the Spark. And he doesn't know that I know these guys because I haven't been like, hey,
that's my van.
Yeah. Even though I look really mad, I can be mad at basically anything in the situation.
Sure. You pull back and pull up towards the front, honking the horn at Fluke, and he starts making a run towards the van. Why don't you do a fast talk, please?
Oh, geez. That's a 4.
He gets up from behind his cover to start running towards the van. It's at this point that Garrett takes his couple extra shots. He just gets the idea that something's off here. And he goes back to his original objective, which was shooting the shit out of Garrett.
Well, I drive away then.
Drive away! Oh my God.
I mean, I'm really mad at you.
So he's a little out of range where he is. This weapon's meant to be used up a little closer, but he pumps this shotgun, fires off 3 blasts in quick succession. You've got a little bit of cover, from the van. So I think it's probably just going to be 2 harm. But,
Oh my God.
but the side of the van is just riddled in bullets.
Damn.
And you're going to have to make a harm roll with +2.
So what happens when I get up to 6 harm?
You need an ambulance right the fuck now.
Okay, so I could die.
Yep.
Okay. 9. Ugh. Can I use a gear card to find like a first aid kit or something in the van?
I definitely put one in there.
Yep. Yeah, I think there
or
actually
like an
was already one in
adrenaline
there.
shot or something?
No, I literally put a first aid kit in the van
Yeah.
after the last mission.
You can keep that here. Unless the thing that I choose is the med kit gets destroyed.
Yeah.
I'll wait for this.
Yeah.
Okay.
In which case, there are blankets in the van.
It's just shock blankets. On a 7 to 9, the MC chooses 1. You lose your footing. You lose your grip on whatever you're holding. You lose track of someone or something you're attending to. Someone gets the drop on you. I think the one that makes the most fictional sense here, someone gets the drop on you. There's the second biker that hasn't been involved quite yet. And he comes in through the passenger side, opens the door, and just levels his pistol at you and says, hands off the wheel, drop your weapon. Tiss. You've been waiting in the van in this body bag, waiting for something to happen. And you hear the driver get a panicked sounding phone call. And he says, okay, I'll be right there. And you hear the van start up. The shutter rises on the garage and the van takes off. Anything you want to do en route, or are you just waiting to arrive?
I'm curious, is there a barrier between the back of the van and the drivers? Or can they just turn around and see in the back of the van?
No, it's a solid wall.
Okay, so I do have some separation. But
Yeah.
Is there anyone in the back of the van with me?
No.
Okay, then I will unzip myself and get out.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I'm just going to maybe check the door and all that, see if it's unlocked. Or if I'm locked in here.
No,
I don't know.
unlocked.
Okay, cool. Then I'm just going to wait till I arrive wherever they're
Okay,
going.
you arrive.
You seem so calm. You're just playing games on your phone.
Yeah, well, it's like waiting for the bus kind of thing.
The van arrives on scene. It stops, and you hear whoever's in the front pile out.
I listen. If there's no noise, I'm going to open up the door. And
Well, you hear the noise of gunfire and
okay.
crashing of
Yeah.
vehicles and shouting.
I open up the back door
Yeah.
and assess.
Yeah, you pop out and you see the scene described earlier. You see Garrett pinned down in the vehicle with someone at the passenger side and Fluke beside a parked car. You see Bunk on the ground. His bike crashed into a nearby vehicle. You see Olivia in the SUV starting to drive away.
Okay. Bunk's on the ground. Is there anyone nearby him?
No, the other bike is coming back around though.
All right. I'm going to run up and grab Bunk.
Yep.
And I'm going to drag him back to the van I just exited.
Okay. You help him up and needed a moment to kind of regain your senses, but you're still active. You can do what you need to do.
I tell Tiss, I'm like, yo, I need my bike.
Well, then we're going the wrong way.
I think I'm...
Is there enough room for 2 on that bike?
No.
I'm going to steal the van then that the guy
Okay.
exited.
Grab the van, I'll grab my bike.
We still have to get Garrett out of here, though.
That's going to be tricky.
Yeah, Garrett's... Oh, my God. I'm going to have to crash into the side of Black Betty.
All I'm saying is you guys better have enough money to buy me a car.
I didn't wreck your van. I will in a second.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, here's the plan. I grab my bike because I can go super fast. I'll kind of like flank around the other side to distract him. While I'm distracting him, you use their car to slam in to where he's at.
Yeah, I'm going to try to slam into the passenger side.
Your best friend's ride?
Yeah.
Me?
Cool. So Bunk zips by in his bike to draw the attention of Fluke and the others. Tiss is grabbing the van.
Yep.
And let's do an act under pressure. Make sure
Yep.
you can actually pull this off.
9.
Yeah, and then Bunk, you can assist on that by rolling a help. And you add the number of links that you have with Tiss.
So I'm just biking past and I'm like, you scratched my bike!
Nice.
10?
Which gives another +1 to Tiss, which means he gets 10. Complete success. Smash into the side. Bad luck, Betty. The biker who was kind of halfway in the door is just crunched.
Oh.
There is a splatter of blood onto the inside of the van.
Oh, my God.
And Garrett,
Says, don't mess with Grandpa, motherfucker.
Even though you didn't do it.
Garrett, shut up and get in the van.
Bunk takes off his mask for a second and just pukes.
You better take that first aid kit
He's
with you.
like horrified.
Yeah, so Garrett grabs
get
the
in the
first
van?
aid kit. First and foremost, he fishes around
Sure.
for the first aid kit.
Yeah. You grab the med kit, transfer into the van that you stole from the Sparks,
The SUV.
the SUV, yep, and drive off.
Can I shoot like the gas tank before I leave? Try to set that thing ablaze?
If you want, for dramatic effect.
Of Bad Luck Betty?
Yeah.
There is one biker, and I mean, Fluke is on foot, but he might get a shot off at you. If you did something like that, you might be able to make a clean getaway. Clean isn't the word, but a getaway nonetheless.
Who's driving the SUV?
The first SUV is driven by Olivia.
That one's already long gone.
Has a head start at least. The other one's driven by Tiss.
For bad guys, there's one guy on a bike.
Yeah.
Or is there two guys on a bike?
One guy on a bike that could get to you quick
So then
enough.
Garrett's in the passenger seat?
Yep.
Okay, so Garrett like doesn't even bother to put a seatbelt on, and he like rolls the window all the way down. And then he leans out the window and he's just like firing at these guys on the motorbikes with his hold-out pistol.
So let's do one meat roll. Let's get everybody to assist, well, the two of them that are present, and just make your dramatic escape.
I hope you guys are good at assisting because I just rolled a 6.
I got an 11.
I got an 11.
So you
Nice.
get bumped up to an 8 personal success. I think your little makeshift convoy of damaged vehicles speeds off the street. You hear Fluke shouting in the distance and firing off his weapon. You see the biker trying to catch up to you, but a few well-placed shots just pushes him far enough aback that he can't catch up to you. What we see for the consequence of that partial success, up on the top of a nearby building, there's a quick box rail that heads just alongside this building, and there are 2 people standing on that rail. You see one person with a large sniper rifle that they're holding at their side.
Whoa.
And a second person, a big affable fellow. He's wearing a well-tailored suit and a bowler hat. And he looks down. You see he has a little cybernetic eye that zooms in and enhances. And he looks through the front door of the first SUV that Olivia is driving and says, Olivia, well. I'm going to start a clock for the Gastown Sparks, which just went up by 1 because of
The fight.
well, probably went up by 1 because of the fight. Goes up 1 more because of this person spotting Olivia. We skip ahead a little bit. You find a doctor, a cyberware doctor, who's able to remove the VR headsets from these 2 people without causing any damage. One is Mirth, who slowly comes to. The second is Rico, the friend of the woman that stopped you in the body bag. You ditch all the evidence. You take a little bit of time to lay low because that was not exactly a clean getaway.
I'm taking one of the VR headsets, though.
Yeah, sure. You take one of the VR headsets, and a little bit of time passes before you make a meeting with Trip again. He's also had to lay low from a pistol, so you have to be pretty careful about your meeting place, but you figure out a way to do it. You meet Trip in this little abandoned, ruined building, and Mirth sees him, immediately runs up, gives him a big hug. Trip is in tears. He can't thank you enough. We are going to have to roll Get Paid.
Mm-hmm.
It's a legwork roll. You add the number of unfilled segments on the legwork clock, which was just 2. Hey.
Oh, there we go. 12.
12. Complete success. You get to choose 3 from the list below. It's not a setup or an ambush. You know, obviously, that Trip wouldn't set you up, but someone else might.
Right.
2 is you are paid in full. The employer is identifiable. We don't care about that. The meeting doesn't attract attention of outside parties, or you learn something from the mission. Everyone marks experience.
I am going to definitely go with that last one.
Okay.
Everybody gets experience.
I'm going to say the meeting doesn't attract the attention of outside parties, even though that's going to be a little bit iffy.
But we did a really good job of laying low afterwards.
Yeah.
Exactly. You took the required time and diligence in setting up this meeting.
And Trip was able to sell all his valuables and we get paid in full.
Sure. Great. You get paid in full. He hands a cred stick to you guys and you divvy up your funds. He says, I literally cannot thank you guys enough. This is unreal. Mirth and I, we're going to get away from here. But if there's any way I can help you guys in the future, look me up.
We definitely will. But yeah, lay low for now, man. I give them both a big hug.
Everybody gets 5 experience for completing the mission. Let's quickly do links as well. Each character is going to pick one other character that they felt learned a bit about them or that you worked well with.
Olivia definitely learned that I was a bad driver.
Sure. So Olivia will get +1 link with you. Tiss?
I'm going to link with Garrett just from our escape.
Sure.
Because I was really solo for most of it until I picked up Garrett.
Yeah.
So.
Garrett gets +1 with Tiss. Bunk?
I wanted to be with Olivia.
I was pretty lone wolf this episode.
You were.
We were all kind of.
Mm-hmm. Olivia went off in the van, and then Olivia texted ultimately you.
Yeah.
You guys were kind of the line of communication there.
Right.
So you learned a bit about planning this mission or planning how you guys are going to meet back up. And you kind of had a little tactical discussion there, I think.
Definitely. Okay. So yeah.
I get a +1? I would say Bunk too, because like he was the first person I was like, how do I disable this?
Yeah. You guys were communicating throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
I think you learned about communication skills. If you ever get the +4 with someone, then you guys have a scene. You both get experience, and then it resets to 0.
It's like a
interesting.
Stardew Valley thing.
Sure.
Actually, that's funny. I was thinking more like Fire Emblem. like a video game.
Like a video game.
Yep.
We'll skip ahead, I think probably about a month or two. So you guys need a little bit of rest and recuperation. You need to shop for a new van.
Garrett needs physio.
Garrett needs physio.
I was going to write a story.
Yeah, you got a story to write. Well, but also reflecting on a job, not just well done, but like an actually kind of a feel-good job, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did something nice for someone. You got paid, but it was still...
Karma, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
No, this is probably one of the first jobs that Bunk's ever been able to do where it lined up with his morals.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of the time you have to work with people that you don't really like or people that, do things that you don't really agree with, but you need to get paid. You need to survive in this world. This time you feel like you did the right thing for once.
Mm-hmm.
It feels good. Maybe you take a few odd jobs here and there for the next little while just to keep the paychecks rolling in, but ultimately you're laying low. On a quiet day, Tiss gets a message. Who's someone that like you occasionally chat with? They might be a friend, they might be a relative. You don't see them every day, but every once in a while you'll touch base.
I have a buddy named Steven. He works at QuickBox.
You know a lot of people at QuickBox.
Yeah, I don't know why, but
You're always ordering
I'm always
out.
like sending stuff. So
Sure.
he's just like a ground worker. So he does some like deliveries and stuff.
Okay. Well, you get a message from Steven, and it's like, whoa, I just saw the announcement. That's crazy. I didn't even know you were playing. How long have you known about this?
Known about what? Send me a link.
You talk back and forth a little bit. He sends you this link to a press release from EXE Gaming, which is an Epistle subsidiary.
Oh, God.
They are the creators of popular bounty hunting AR game Skip Tracer.
Okay.
And the announcement reads as follows. EXE Gaming is proud to announce the next event for the Skip Tracer Grandmaster League. We've put together a rogues gallery of our most elusive and dangerous targets with suitably extravagant bounties. This 2-week event is an opportunity for our players to separate themselves from the chaff and take a place amongst the greatest of the great. See below for event details. Good hunting. Below, you see a list of a dozen or so targets, each with a picture, name, and a point value. Amongst the top of the list, Garrett, Bunk, Tiss, and Olivia. 2,000 points each, 10,000 for all 4. Tune in to the Trace for 24/7 coverage of this exciting event and join us for the closing ceremonies in 2 weeks. Thanks for listening to the House of Bob. Artwork was created by Sean Makes on Instagram. Audio production is provided by Astronomic Audio. Music is produced by John R. Julius and licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution. If you like what you hear, be sure to subscribe for more content, give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts, follow us on social media, and join our Discord server. Blackout is made possible by our amazing Patreon supporters. Ray Kearney, Tom Wesley, Rob, Bluckett12, Jessica, Kieran Duffy, Mike of the Tales from the Glass-Guarded World podcast, Sylvia Douglas, Luke Conroy, and Volt. If you'd like to be a part of making this podcast possible, please visit patreon.com/thehouseofbob.
Very quick question about cyberware.
Yeah.
If you had like cybernetic underwear, is that cyber underwear or under cyberwear?
Anyway.
Find out next episode.